Well, it's day 153
of the 29th year and beyond.
So yesterday we talked about dealing with the cold,
Right?
Mm-hmm. And with that in mind, one of the things I was thinking about is, how do you know when you need to get a third party involved, i.e., where things have gotten to the point where you begin to understand, okay, this is something that you and I together are not going to be able to resolve. We need to get someone else to provide some counsel. So, at what point do you acknowledge, A, we need to consider marital counseling, and B, if one of you do, but the other doesn't see value in it?
Okay, well, disclaimer here, Fred and I have been to marital counseling when we were in a cold spell. So, with that said, when we really couldn't communicate, and it seemed like we weren't hearing what each other was saying, that's when I really felt like we needed to bring somebody in. When I was just really frustrated, and I think you were frustrated with me as well, and it just was where we couldn't communicate. So then we needed somebody sort of to mediate to get us past that block.
Yeah. If you get to an impasse, because you have to get beyond whatever the issue, whatever the concern, whatever the challenge is. I'm just thinking that, there are many people who can recognize that, okay, we can't go any further in and of ourselves, but have been taught you don't air your dirty laundry. You don't discuss things outside of the house. And so there is this stigma for some that, well, you don't do that. I would say that if you're concerned about your marriage, right, if you really want the best, healthy, the greatest marriage and opportunity to continue on this journey together, you do what you have to do.
Well, when you're sick, you go to the doctors. So when your marriage is sick, go to a doctor. It may be a therapist. It may be a psychiatrist. But go to a doctor. It may be a spiritual counselor, meaning a pastor like Fred. But you need to get an outside party. So, I know that stigma and it's been very prevalent in our community, the African American community. But I just believe that if you're really believed in your vows and you're committed to this relationship and you do love the person that you're with, then it's worth going to a doctor, quote, to get some help.
Right. And that's the thing. Maybe you need to look at this through a different lens, because I think if some come to the idea of counseling, whether you're talking about spiritual counseling or professional counseling with a psychiatrist or a psychologist, with a negative connotation, I don't know why, but maybe you need to just revision what that means. Because again, at the end of the day, for me and my wife, we knew that we wanted to have the best relationship possible. And when we got to a point where there were some challenges and some outside forces that were creating challenges for us, we knew, okay, we're in it to win it. So we did opt to take to seek marital counseling, and that provided us with what we needed so that we can get beyond that and move forward in a healthy way. Now, let me say this. When we talk about a third party, that doesn't mean your girlfriend or your buddy,
Definitely
right?
Not.
We're not talking about that, because, again, when you're dealing with challenges and intimate issues and all of those kinds of things, that's something that needs to stay with you. The only way you should be sharing personal things with someone that's not your spouse is in a professional setting with a pastoral counselor or some kind of professional counselor. So I do want to make that clear. We're not saying, well, get somebody that, you can roll necks with and you need to do this and that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about making certain that you do what you need to do so that you can move forward, healthy, loving, and whole.
Yes, it's one of your major commitments in your life, and it's worth.
So until tomorrow, if the Lord says the same.
Bye.